Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be doing a quick lesson. We're going over mean, median, mode, range, and outlier. These are all things that you guys have probably touched on in middle school but haven't heard of in a while. So we're going to go over it quickly today. Alright, so first thing, vocab. We got mean, range, outlier, mode, median. We got to identify what's what. So let's look at the first word. So the average of a set of data. All the numbers added up and divided by how many numbers are in the list. So finding the average is the same thing as finding the mean. Alright, the middle number when a set of data is ordered either largest to smallest or smallest to largest. If the amount of numbers in the list is even, we take the middle two data points and average them. So the middle number. When you hear middle, think of middle of the road. What's in the middle of the road? That is the median. Alright, the data point that occurs the most. Think of which one of these three words most closely resembles that. That would be mode. Mode is the most. So it repeats the most amount of times. Shows how far the data is spread out. The highest data point minus the lowest. So how far it's spread out is going to be the range. And the last part, the point that lies outside is the outlier. So those are 5 terms that we're going to go over how to calculate and what they actually mean. Alright, so if we're looking at a song on Spotify, week 1 it's got 500 plays, week 2 it's got 953 plays. This is how much it increases every week, right? It increased by 500, increased by 953. Just keeps growing. So the first part, find the mean. To find the mean, we want to add up all of these numbers. So we're going to do 500 plus 953 plus 955 plus 1500. We add them all up, we get 8164. Now remember, when we find the average, we have to divide that by however many numbers there were. There were 6 weeks, so we got to divide that by 6 to find our average. So in this case, it's 1,360. We'll keep the decimals for now. We'll say 67. So the average it increases every week is by 1,360. Alright. The median. Now for the median, remember that's the middle number. The first thing we have to do is make sure the numbers are in order from least to greatest or greatest to least. In this case they are, right? Lowest number is here, and then it gradually increases all the way to the highest number. Now to find the median, we start crossing off in pairs. We got to cross off the end numbers. So we cross them off in pairs, cross off the end numbers, but we got 2 numbers left in the middle. When we got 2 numbers left in the middle, we just average them to find what is between them. So we got to do 955 plus 1500 divided by 2. So 955 plus 1500. Divide that by 2. The median, the middle value of the data, is 1,227.5. Now the mean and the median are usually around each other, but they're not usually the same. Remember, the mean is a calculated average. The median is the number that's physically in the middle of all the data. The mode. Whatever number repeats the most. Now, there doesn't have to be a mode. In this case, none of these numbers repeat, right? 500, 953, 955, 1500. So because none of these numbers repeat, there is none. But if I were to add another 500 here, then because 500 repeats, we could say our mode was 500 because it would be listed twice. But because in this case everything's listed once, we say, oops, there is no mode. Not zero, because remember, zero is a number. We say none. All right, the range. For the range, we have to subtract the biggest number and the smallest number. So we're going to do 2892 minus 500. So we get 2392. And the last part, we want to identify the outlier. So the outlier is going to be the number that lies outside all the rest of the data, right? It's not close. So to do that, looking at this, you can kind of see it, but just to double check, the outlier, because this is in order, is either going to be this one or this one, because it's ordered in least to greatest. Now the one that lies furthest away is going to be the 2,892. How do I know that? Well, let's compare these numbers and let's compare these numbers. All right, 953 minus 500. There's only a difference of 453 there. But now if we look at week 5 and week 6, there's a difference of 1,500. So that's a huge difference. So that means the biggest difference is between 5 and 6, which makes this our outlier. All right, remember, the outlier is just the number that lies way outside the rest. This one is outside by over 1,500, so that means that's our outlier. And that is it for today, guys.